What's going on, guys? Happy New Year. Today we're talking about an easy path to having a productive 2026. We're going to automate the process of productivity so that it's effortless. You don't have to think about it so much, and you'll just have to check in about once a quarter with this process. But with a little bit of foundational work that we're going to talk about how you can do, you are going to be able to automate the process of your productivity and know exactly what it is that you need to do to move the needle. So let's get started with talking about, firstly, what does it mean to be productive? Because this can be unique to each one of us. Something that is relatively universal, I would assume, in the minds of most people, is that productivity has some semblance of moving the needle forward on / fulfilling our goals. But for me, something that also is crucial in the term productive is expanding my experience of life, which means doing new things that I've never done before and going to a new country. That's something that I try to make sure I do once every year, is go to a new country. Perhaps that's not something that you value, but for me, being productive includes the more recreational aspect of life that isn't necessarily about my career, but it's about experiencing more and enjoying my time and overall being a happy person. So that's something for you to chew on and think about. What does your definition of productive mean? And then we can start to get into how we are going to fulfill that definition of productive. So you can go ahead, get a sheet of paper out and start. Nothing very formal yet. And we're going to start with identifying any big goals that we may have. If nothing comes to mind, think about what direction you want your life to go in, and then ask yourself, which goals would need to be fulfilled to push my life in that direction? And then you'll have a bunch of goals outlined for yourself. So perhaps you want to be in better shape. Perhaps you want to get a really good mark on your LSAT test to get into law school. Whatever your really big goals are, think about what are some small actionable steps that you can take every single day to accomplish those goals. And you can go ahead and write those down. Every day, small actionable steps, things that you can work into your daily routine as a habit, so to speak. You can study a half hour for the test that you have. If you're trying to get more strength, you can make sure you're doing some semblance of strength training or active recovery every single day. If you want better energy levels, you can make sure you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep and drinking 3 liters of water. These are all just examples of small actionable steps that you can work into your life every single day to the point where they become a habit and you don't have to think about them as much. And all of these things will get you closer to your goals. Now, the difficult part is making something actually stick as a habit to the point where you don't even have to really think about it. Sometimes one of the difficult things can be just even remembering what it is that you have to do every day. You get to bed and you're like, oh, I did all my things today. And then you remember, oh man, I didn't do my 20 minutes of meditation. Well, here's where this tool is going to come in handy. I'm going to put a link for it in my description, completely free. It is a habit tracking calendar. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen here. You can go ahead and click the link in the description to get yours sent directly to your inbox. You can print it out, put it somewhere obvious, and that way you can leverage automation. It's something that will start to get built in to your daily routine. That for every day that you do all of your daily habits, you get to cross out the day in the calendar. So you're going to be leveraging the psychology of reward systems, and you're also going to be reducing your mental load by using a visual cue and eliminating the need to rely on memory for all the things that you want to be doing in a day. And this is an automated process. It's different from a to-do list, because when you go write out your to-do list the night before, that's still something that you have to do every single day. It's an extra step. Don't get me wrong. I think having a to-do list is great. I still have one because there's different things. Every day is a little bit unique. But the consistent things that you want to do every single day, you'll have them at the bottom of your habit tracking calendar. So if there's anything you're forgetting, you can go through it. Did I do this, this? Anywhere from like 3 to 7 tasks that you will have in a day, and it'll be very easy to recall. Oh, I didn't do this one yet. Keeping it somewhere very visible that you will see many times in a day will also be a great cue to remind you to get back on track if you're maybe squandering some time. A lot of us are guilty of this, spending a lot of our downtime just kind of throwing it away, throwing it in the trash, scrolling through our phones and not actually making any healthy use out of our time when it could be spent towards moving the needle in a way that is going to make us a better version of ourselves and is going to make our life more enjoyable. Okay, so this is just one sheet of printer paper, nice and compact. Obviously not a lot of room to do a lot of tracking and reflection outside of just our daily habits. So super, super simple. That is entry level, lowest hanging fruit. Now another also very, very simple way to move the needle forward in 2026, definitely a little bit more involved, however, probably more rewarding, is utilizing what I call a life audit. I personally do one quarterly, and I can review in detail the goals that I had and how well I'm moving the needle forward on those goals, how much I'm sticking to my word. And using a life audit is a very easy way to keep yourself accountable and go back and realize, oh, this is what I said I was going to do, and this is how I said I was going to do it. Am I keeping up with how many times a week I said I was going to the gym? Am I keeping up with tracking my calories every day? Am I keeping up with eating 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day? Am I keeping up with not letting resentment build in my relationship and addressing issues as soon as they arise? This is a process that requires you to be very honest with yourself. The life audit that you're going to be able to perform is a way that you can hold yourself accountable with more nuance and more detail than you'd be able to fit into one, habit tracking calendar. Obviously, that's not the right tool for being able to really reflect on your goals in depth. So I've designed a workbook, also completely free, and I will attach the link in the description below for that as well. And both of these are available on my website, evanpersuto.com. Both completely free to download. And this workbook is divided into 8 different sections where you can keep track of different goals that are related to each different section of life. These sections include career, growth and expansion, recreation, relationships, finances, home. Maybe you want to have some better habits around the house, keeping it clean and whatnot, physical health, and mental health. So you don't have to have an elaborate plan for each section. Maybe you're very satisfied with your physical health and you've got that firing on all cylinders and you have a system for yourself. Great. You don't have to make any changes there. There's space for you in each section to reflect on the goals that you have and how you plan on implementing them, and also track your progress towards them. So you can have this digitally, and you can also print it out. It's about 20 pages, and you can go back and reflect on your progress towards your goals once every quarter and see how you're doing, see what changes need to be made, see if you are keeping up with the action plan you set for yourself, or if you maybe need to make some changes because it feels a little bit too unattainable. Perhaps you feel like you could do more, so you push the needle a little bit further even more and go to the gym 5 times a week instead of 4. I think you guys get the point. It's a great organized place to both reflect on, plan the actions to, and track your progress towards any different goals that you might have for any area of life. This is how we are going to move the needle forward in 2026 and make sure we have a very productive year. Guys, it's all outlined for you. It's all organized, and it's completely free. I know I've been utilizing these tools for a while, and after a while I decided I'm going to make official copies rather than just writing them down, and I can make them available to anyone who wants them. So those have been on my website for a while. So you can go ahead and claim those in the description down below. There's a link to each of them, completely free, useful tools, and it's a very easy way to make sure 2026 is the most productive year of your life. Guys, I hope you kill it in 2026. I hope you have a happy, healthy, and prosperous year ahead of you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.